I was just going, hi, we're standing here in Tokoroa, Bridge Street, in South Waikato. This is the Wednesday the newspaper comes out. Nothing on council's meeting. So we're here to do a vox box for a local resident. There's a representation review coming up on Thursday, and we're going to see who's going to come along to it. So as you can see in the reflection in the window, our vox box interviewer is about to be winging his way to celebrity status. Bruce, tell us.
Mr. Young, too much noise here, mate.
Yeah.
Too much noise, the busy commerce of the main street of Tokoroa.
Are you going to be attending Thursday night?
No, I'll be anointing on one less.
How did you find out about it?
What? About Thursday night?
Yes.
Well, I was walking around one Wednesday, and then 24 hours later, bing, what happened? Thursday night. It's really hard to miss, actually. It comes around every week.
So you knew that Tirau's one was last night?
Yeah.
Hall was packed.
I gather there was a tremendous turnout and that everyone was very pro-council. The council were bathing in the limelight.
And
all the councillors turned up there and enjoyed their 5 minutes of fame.
And the demographic was over 65.
Yep.
And good turnout by the Blue Rinse Brigade.
There were a lot of youngies there, a lot of under 100s were there.
And before that, Tirau had 4 people in a 500 seat plaza.
Yeah, but you can't win every time, Roddy.
No.
But we have on going on our side though that according to the Councillor Vin Rugen, or whatever his name is, the new CEO is an expert in marketing, which explains the tremendously high turnouts at places like Atamuri and Tirau, doesn't it?
Well,
engaging the community through active promotion.
Herman van Rooyen, the council in Tirau, was not there at any of the 10-year planning meetings. He wasn't there last night in Tirau, nor was he there in Tirau.
Didn't he say he was going away? It's a nice job if he can get it.
Well, I'm only stating the facts. You can read into it. So what are you expecting to come out of the representation review? You know that up for grabs, they cancelled out the Māori seats. They've also wanted to get rid of the community boards.
Well, of course, actually I think that we should just simply, Neil and Jenny should step aside and Craig should stand in there as kind of a benevolent dictator. Oh, hold on, that's what we've got now. I think it's nothing. Nothing's going to come of it, Roddy.
So they have a north and south, and when I spoke to Louise Upston's secretary yesterday, and I said it's because someone doesn't like the Māori words and that's why they went north and south to remove them. Is there anything to that? No,
they just want to simplify it. You got to remember we're dealing with council here, and the simpler the better. It gives much more time for the important issues of the day if you don't have to deal with pesky people like ratepayers and their representation.
Now, international reviews on your presentation to council are coming in, and people are saying that you did a very good job in your submission to council to use the $1 million asset out there and to justify spending $400,000 on resealing it for 3 full-sized aircraft. Do you plan to raise that tonight's meeting and Thursday's meeting?
No, because it's about representation, Roddy. It's not about airfields, and it's not about money. It's about representation. It's about giving the people a voice. And, as we know, this council is not very good at that.
Well, exactly what Tirau said yesterday. They actually asked the mayor to sit down and Craig Hobbs to sit down because they were trying to filibuster it right to the end at 9 o'clock, so no one in Tirau would even get a say. But they were seated.
Yes, but the council doesn't seem to understand the connection between listening and receiving the views of ratepayers. They actually simply want to dictate their views to ratepayers, which of course is not the way democracy works.
Well, Councillor Shattuck made a good point that this is just a proposal. They weren't allowed to come out with options this time, so they had to put their peg in the sand, which seemed to upset Tirau. However, they are going to read the submissions and come up with a revised proposal and come back to the community.
But how did that work with the long-term plan, Roddy? There were a lot of submissions made, and how long did it take for them to actually go through those submissions and vote or comment on them?
Well, Tirau light in the park, they put $3,500 for one light to illuminate the common ground there in the middle of Tirau, and it took half an hour to go through that. To go through 123 submissions, it took 23 minutes. And I was struggling to write down the number of the submission, and NC standing for no comment by any of the councillors seated around the table. So that is the cursory disregard that the process that Mayor Sinclair had for councillors' views, or for that matter, the submitters' views. So I would say, when you talked about a benevolent dictatorship by a CEO, maybe it's a benevolent dictatorship by a mayor.
Well, Roddy, I liken it to a sorter and a sewage treatment plant. You know, all they're doing is going through the motions to no effect.
I have heard that the big bits float to the top. Can you confirm that?
Couldn't comment, Roddy. Couldn't comment. I have no expertise in this area.
I feel that there's going to be an objection to the local government commission, and they're going to disregard the process that the present council is doing and actually come in and create a super rural and amalgamate 5 or 7 councils together, and guys like Craig Hobbs will be like the CEOs in Auckland City, where 8 of them were made redundant.
I've got a better idea, Roddy. It's time this district started leading the way instead of following in the wake of every other district. What they need to do is introduce a form of recoverable proxy, whereby, as we know, the individual councillors are there to represent the district and the people in it. So, how many people in the district, Roddy?
There are 23,200.
How many councillors do we have?
We have 10 councillors.
So, effectively, we give each councillor 2,300 votes to cast on behalf of the people of the district. So, combined, they have representation of all the voters. But what we do is we give people in the district the opportunity to recover their vote, their proxy vote, and exercise it themselves. It's been done through the internet. We're very connected. We've got ultra-fast broadband, one of the first districts in the country to get ultra-fast broadband, and everyone else has access to free internet at a library. So we implement the next phase of a democratic system where we put the power back in the hands of the people, and this representation thing goes away because everybody can have their say as and when they choose and vote on the issues that are important to them. What do you reckon, Roddy?
Well, we could start it off at a smaller scale. So
Why think small? Think big. The council has enough money. Admittedly, they can't even keep their phone system running for more than a week at a time, but they have the money and they have the access to the technology to implement this, and it could be a proving ground for the entire country.
Well, last night the squealing of the sound system was so bad that...
Yeah, but you've got to remember that this council is kind of tech naive. When I first met with the CEO of the council and suggested to him that the council could use my YouTube channels with their 70 million views and 200,000 subscribers to actively promote this district, I was told that the internet wasn't important and they were going to make a DVD and post it out to people all around the world.
Oh.
That's how technically naive this council is.
Well, thank you very much. We have a new VoxBox person. How was the representation review yesterday in Tirau, Peter?
It was a shambles. I think the council is absolutely, on the wrong track with this whole representation. Democracy will take a dive in Tirau. We wouldn't have anyone to represent us. So therefore, I think it's, number one, because there's no savings there, it was a waste of time, a wasted effort. And we're going to lose according to them, they want to get rid of the community board as well. So that's a slap in the face of democracy for Tirau. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Bruce.
Here's my coffee, Roddy.
Inside. And we just wanted to say this has been brought to you by Sweet Rose coffee shop here in Bridge Street. Hello, Red. How